You don't cat. Hey, get out of here, cat. Why do you always do this? Stinker. Are we live? Are we live? Yeah, I am live. Check that out. Hey, what's up, Justin? New mug live. This thing came all the way from Thailand. Porcelain. This thing's sweet. Jeff Fruit, who's here in the chat, thank you for this wonderful mug. This thing's dope. This is like, it got this really cool bronze color. It holds the heat well, but not like painfully hot, so you can still hold it. This thing's so cool. Steven's partying. Nice, dude. Morning, Terry. Morning, Carly. Morning, Steven. Good morning, Jeff. Everybody. Yeah, this thing's sweet. Now I can't talk trash to my girlfriend for all of her mugs that she has. Sorry. Ah, that's some good coffee. What's up? Good morning. Yeah, Jeff, thank you very much for that mug. Thanks, sweet. If any of you saw Eric Burke's post this morning, then you would know that I've let a few of these go. By a few, I literally mean a few of these striped jungles. This is one of my keeper girls. A nice big meal in her belly. But I don't really have any females that aren't spoken for. I have like, I think one. Got plenty of cool looking males. Ooh, easy girl. Well, yeah, this girl's sweet. I'm glad she's eating so well. But this is the year for planning for more, or this is the time of year for planning for more. Been absolutely pounding food to my adult females. What's up, Robert? All the females that I'm hoping to breed this season, I've been feeding quite a bit more than I normally would right now. I think probably for the rest of this month, I'll be feeding them like every 7 to 10 days, some pretty big meals. And then tapering off into October, giving them November to just empty out because it'll probably still be warm. But I'll be basically dropping things with the season, kind of going off my same plan, but it's time to put some calories into the animals I'm trying to breed so they feel like they've got the resources to do it. So if anybody's curious, what cycle feeding is, now's the time to really hammer that food in and really play that game. Yeah, Eric, the babies are huge. They were big when they were hatching, but they're even bigger now because they started eating so well. A couple of them, well, one of them, this one female I'm keeping, has not decided to eat on her own quite yet. So that's always how it goes. The pretty ones always seem to have finicky behavior of some sort. everybody's getting ready to go into shed, so they're not as good looking, but this is one of the available males. I don't think I'm keeping, but he looks like garbage right now because he's all brown. Really dark going into shed. Don't fall. These guys are eating really well. They're starting to grow, and I'm starting to see that they're going to have some tipping in there. So if any of you guys like jungles with tipping, they seem to have quite a bit. But I have this weird schedule where I don't have days off during the week, so it makes shipping hard. Yeah, Lori, this is the time of year where your females are going to be instinctively looking to pack in as much food as possible before the winter. Their instincts say that come wintertime, there isn't going to be much food availability, so get it in while you can, while it's still warm, and then once it gets cold, it's harder to digest. They'll just basically shut down and go into their brumation state. So right now, in the month of August and September, those are the 2 months that I'm like really hammering food in. Good morning, Ed. Yeah, Ed, yours are probably still growing up and doing well for you, I'm sure. Brian Cox, what's the brew today? It's my my Sumatran espresso. It's like my go-to standard from the store here. They have bulk beans, so I can just take a bag and just catch it all and bring it home, throw it in the airtight container, and grind it up as I need. I'm a coffee snob. The children's pythons are really testing me. 2 of them have eaten frozen thawed 3 times. The rest of them aren't eating anything. Live, gecko scented, nada. So they seem to be as hard as I was expecting. No, that wasn't a dream. I do have Madagascar hognose eggs. I've got 3 of them in the incubator. They're 43 days in right now, so still going well. I handled them a week or so ago, and there's baby snakes in them. They're looking good. So all goes well for the next couple more weeks. Should be able to see those things hatch out. How's the little zebra ladies doing? Chris asks. Let's see. Let's find your girl. She had, looks like she had a shed. She's had another meal. Nope, that's not. Sorry, incorrect. That's the super zebra. Where is she? I put her. There she is. So, Chris, your girl's had 3 meals now. Doing really well. Doesn't seem to be doling out for the next shed quite yet. Still pretty bright. She's looking great. She's a little flighty, but otherwise that's it. She's pretty nuts, dude. Yep. Easy. So that's the only female zebra that came out, and she is spoken for. So that's her. The others are doing well. Ryan, what did you think of Eeper, or what is it, Scott Eiper? Eiper's comments on NPR on carpets are geographic races. he knows more than I do. He's been on the ground doing a lot of the genetic testing and work, and I've heard for a while that there were going to be taxonomic changes made to Morelia, and that they're going to lump a lot of those things together. So, like, they're going to lump Darwins and Papuans together, coastals and jungles. They're sort of saying they're like localities of one race of carpets. Diamonds, I think, are their own thing. Imbricata is getting elevated to full species status. Morelia bredli stand full species status, and what else? Inlands are stand full species. Yeah, so there's a couple changes. I can't say I'm surprised. They do have intergrade zones where for the jungles and coastals where they sort of overlap, and you can see phenotypic similarities amongst them in these areas. But if they're all one species, is it just really locality? It'll be interesting because there are going to be many of us who won't change the labeling, so we're not going to, do anything differently. We'll still keep jungles and coastal separate. Some of us, will care and it'll upset people. Some of us will go with what's relevant. If the taxonomy distinguishes things and then lumps things together, then it is what it is. It's always changing as we figure out new information. So I personally would still keep my jungles and coastal separate, even if it's just locality thing. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what it dictates. Robert, excuse me. You've already started pairing your coastals and they're showing interest. That's early. Excuse me, God. I won't be pairing any animals until probably December, January. I usually don't get much activity until then. What's up, Ed? Good morning. Oh, I know what we could talk about as I pour more coffee. And I really should keep today's stream short. I gotta go into the shop at 11 today. Yeah, I think inlands they're Metcalfi. I think they're gonna be full species. They're not already. Brian, is this Carpets Need coffee? No, this is I got coffee. Hey, Brian, don't you have the same mug? I think Jeff might still be in here. So, Chris Sexton brings up the super zebra that I shared, and share. So, did get a pair of super zebras this season. All right, little guy. And they're eating and doing well, and they're fiery and expensive. But this is the male. And so super zebras, full patternless. Just don't pee in my computer, dude. This guy has the very typical tail kink that comes with super zebras. Although his is pretty pronounced, the female is almost not even noticeable. So this guy, he's got his little 90-degree angle here at the end of his tail. And at the end of it folded over. So the very tip was folded over like that. It was pressed down and then sealed in place. And so I I waited for his first shed, which took quite a while. He actually ate a couple times before, and after his first shed, I went to go look at his tail tip, and of course the shed had gotten stuck at the end where it's folded, um, which I kind of expected, but I was hoping it wouldn't happen. And typically with super zebras, if their tail tip kink or whatever birth level of defect comes out, if it catches the shed and they can't shed properly the first time, chances are it's going to be an every time they shed issue. So if you don't address it, that shed will get stuck. It can cut off circulation, and it can cause blood flow and issues in the tail and infections and health problems, yada yada. So what I did was snipped the tip of his tail off right at that little nub area. Here, where am I? So there was the little, basically like a little ball, but a fold, and just snipped it off, dipped it in some cornstarch, disinfected it, cleaned it, and he's great now. I mean, it's granulating over. He's eating, doing everything just fine. So it should scale over and have no issues moving forward. And yeah, hopefully sheds perfectly the next time and we don't have any issues. Let's see. How did you like the that one was amazing, dude. That was a really cool pick. It's too bad he didn't make it. That happens though sometimes. In my striped jungle clutch, there were 2 eggs that didn't make it, buried in the bottom of the clutch, because that was the one I did maternal incubation for. So those 2 didn't really get any oxygen exchange, and they were underneath them all, and they were dead in the egg, but they were, some stunning, beautiful striped animals, and unfortunately how it goes. What did you say, Chris? Let's see. Yeah, so this guy's eating really well. Probably going into a shed soon. He's a little darker, but he's lightening up. Stop it. Why are you biting me? I'm going to put him away because he's grumpy. But yeah, I don't really have anything crazy going on this week. Just been working a ton. And let's see, Northwest Carpet Fest is the 28th of this month. I wish I could make it. I got all sorts of stuff going on at work. I am not going anywhere. Who the hell is Harvey? What's up, man? Oh, gotcha, Chris. Yeah, I don't know what the plans for those super zebras are, Ryan. I'm just happy to have both of them. So maybe outcross the zebra stuff with unrelated stuff. Make some more ones that are, make some more zebras that sort of like taken away from the zebra concentration, I guess, diluting that down. In theory, you outcross it enough, you can reduce the tail kinking frequency. Nick Mutton's been doing some work on that because he's been breeding them for so long. He's finally seeing it reduce down, I think. But this coming season, I don't think I'm actually gonna make any jungles this year. Oh yeah, yeah, Robert. So Robert sent me a photo of a snake that didn't hatch out in one of his clutches, and it ended up having 2 heads, like they were conjoined at the back of the head. So underneath, you could see the 2 distinct jaw lines. On the top, it was just this crazy looking thing. So I've never had that happen. But Yeah, this year I'm hoping to finally get some redemption with my coastal carpets. So here's the thing. Going back to what Ryan Cox asked about what Scott Eiper was saying on NPR about races being lumped together and changing some of the organization. Jungles and coastals, according to everybody that's been breeding them, their season's the same, cycle the same, everything's about the same. So that does lend up some argument to that whole issue. But as far as breeding them, I shouldn't be having the issues that I am breeding my coastals, and yet here I am, and I have yet to breed a coastal. So I've been feeding up this caramel girl behind me who's deep in shit at the moment, and trying to get her ready again. Pair her with my tiger boy, see what happens. So if I'm not planning to breed my female carpets this season, the males aren't ready, should I still cycle them or just ride out feeding 3 to 4 weeks as normal? I would cycle them. That way when you come round to breeding them, then the next season they'll have gone through a full winter where there's like minimal food available, and they'll be a little bit better equipped for that and used to it as well. So I would say still cycle them. I am hoping to. So, caramel tigers, hopefully. Not going to breed breadline. Give her another year. Going to give the jungle girl who did my MI clutch the year off. Hoping to breed the albino Darwin, who I've been packing food in. We've got a male het who is more than ready to go. We'll just see if they're ready to do it. All right. Better not be my phone charger. Yeah. And then Citrus Tiger, gonna put her to a striped, possible super caramel albino male from Hesham at Magic Carpet. Got an Xanthic Coastal from Todd Dyer. Gonna try and put her. I think I'm gonna put her with the Xanthic Zebra. I think. What else? Gonna do another Popwin pairing. Gonna get that female going again that gave me the clutch early this past year. She's more than ready. So we'll see. And then Dot, the Super Zebra Het Xanthic, will meet the Xanthic Zebra again. So Chris asks, so when you say pack on food, how often are you feeding to prepare them for winter slowdown? So my normal feeding rate for the adult females throughout the year is I'll feed them they're eating medium rats or large rats, I'll feed them every 3 weeks or so, 3 to 4 weeks during the regular year. And then come July, August, and September, I'll actually start feeding them every 7 to 10 days and just really pound that food in there. Beef them up. So that's how I do that. And I cycle feed everything that I intend to breed just to make sure that they're getting tons of food right before seasonal shift, sort of coincide with the natural prey availability and hopefully hit those biological cues that they're dependent on, letting them know internally, like, hey, we got enough food, we can breed. So Bash / 4x4 asks, what about rainbows? I'm hoping to breed rainbows again this year. My female, the adult female I have bred twice, is currently the only female I feel comfortable breeding as far as her size. So it'll be a three-peat pairing. It'll be the same male. I don't think I'll keep anything from that litter, so assuming everything goes well, then have a bunch of rainbows available. I'm 2 for 2 with breeding those things. They're so far pretty straightforward, like clockwork to breed. They do really well. I don't really put a ton of effort into cycling them. I'll cycle their food. The room sort of does all the temperature cycling. I will decrease their hotspot a little bit, but they're pretty equatorial, so they don't really get a crazy winter drop. So I do more of a wet season, dry season, and high food availability cycle, and it seems to work. Yeah, there was an episode on NPR about breeding prep, but basically if you look at the natural cycle of weather where these animals live, it'll dictate at what times of year prey is most abundant. So you get a wet season that creates a lot of plant growth and insect production because there's tons of water and food available. And therefore, you get a lot of rodents and other things, frogs, lizards, geckos, and they're producing a ton in spring and summer after the wet season. So what happens is there's a big feast time for everything. Food is abundant, and that tends to coincide with the summer months or drier season months before going into a winter or what we think of as a winter, and then they sort of have a period of famine where there isn't a lot of food. So the animals will eat as much as possible during that time before going into their sort of winter slowdown where there isn't a lot of food. They're going to conserve energy. They're going to rest more. They're going to find somewhere warm to sort of den up and hang out. So, yeah. Okay. So you do a temperature fluctuation, but feed her consistently. Be interesting to see if she breeds for you this year. Richard France's book on evolutionary biology, Domesticated, covers species developing into land races and later, if domesticated, into breeds. The land race concept is what Scott was talking about. Yeah, that was a long episode. It is 3 hours, and some of it was the guys just being cheeky and screwing around, but there's a lot of super solid information in there. Scott's a really smart guy doing a lot of work over in Australia with sort of the classification of those animals. So it's pretty interesting stuff. A lot is changing right in front of us, so it's really cool. But I don't really have a ton for y'all today. Nothing working a ton, that sort of stuff. So if all goes well this season of rainbows, we will have some citrus tiger stuff, some axanthic zebra stuff, hopefully super zebra axanthic stuff, hopefully albino Darwins, hopefully some more Papuans. I'm also going to give the Crebos a shot this season. I think the female's plenty big, so we will see. We will see. The Amazon Trebos, I have no idea what's going on with them. I'll pair them again, but I still haven't been able to put the time and energy into studying them and really like figuring out their behavior well enough to know what's going on with them when they're doing what. So I'm not holding my breath on them, but we'll see. And yeah. Let's see. Don't lie, Scott is just some Aussie hick running around tickling death adders. Ryan, you sound jealous. Okay. So she has bred for you, Robert. That's awesome. Hey, if it works, man, do it. Don't change it. If it works for you and it works for your snakes and your system, don't tinker with it. Anyway, yeah, Ryan, Crebos. I'm gonna give them a shot. It makes me nervous because they both eat other snakes when offered. So, but see, my female is 4. Male I have is 6. So, got age of maturity. We'll see. See if they want to play nice. It'll make me nervous, though, for sure. So, I'm. Say what's up to everyone and talk some shop. I will have 2 more male zebra jungles available once they get a couple more meals into them. So if anybody's looking for male zebras, let me know. I'm honestly a couple male striped jungles, maybe 1 more female available. So we'll see. Thank you for this beautiful mug all the way from Thailand. It's a beautiful piece of art, man. I mean, it's amazing. Really amazing. So thank you immensely for that. Anyway, until next week, love, peace, and chicken grease. Bring me your carpet questions and topics. If there's anything you want me to go over and discuss, let me know. Feel free to message me or just hold it. Try to make it, content that you want and can benefit from and learn from, and bring your questions up. And yeah, we'll just keep it going. This was episode 41. So, holy cow, 41 episodes, right? That's pretty wild. Although some of them are probably pretty boring and don't really have a lot going on. I'm sure I'm just running my mouth rambling and people are just asking, who the heck is this guy? We'll do it until we don't. So, alrighty. Till next time, send me your thoughts, questions, ideas, topics, and I'll catch you next Friday. Adios.